So in the last session, we have started discussing about the fragments, and then we have discussed about the content fragment actually in the last session. So from this session, also in this session, we'll discuss about the experience fragment. So when it comes to experience fragment is also the same thing. So which is we can create in one location, and then we can use that in a multiple pages. So it is made up of one or more component. Okay, so it is an experience. It is a part of a page. So if you are creating a content fragment, so how we are creating a content fragment? It is an asset, right? So dam colon asset is the content fragment. So if you want to create an experience fragment, you'll be creating the experience fragment as a CQ colon page. Okay, so experience fragment is a page. So simple experience fragment is a page, and then this experience fragment is made up of one or more component. Okay, so in order to create a page, what we need required? So we need to require so we need to have an template basically. Okay, so we have the editable template, and with the help of the editable template, we can create the page. So page is nothing but an experience fragment. So experience fragment is also the same thing. So which gives us the layout and style to the page, and then it is also used to and then it is a part of experience to the page. So what is the use of this experience fragment? So what is the use of this fragment actually? Okay, so we can create them, and then we can reuse them from multiple pages. And if you want to edit the content from a single location, we can edit the content so that all the changes will be reflected to the resultant pages. So where we can generally use this, where we can in most of the cases we can use this experience fragment. Okay, so now, in order to develop this experience fragment, you will be using in some cases like so consider okay. So consider you have created one page. Okay. So now consider I am having five templates. Okay. So template one, and then template two, template three, four. Okay. So consider I'm having four pages. So by using these four pages, I have created some. By using these four templates, I have created 100 pages. So each of the template by using each of the template, I have created some 100 pages. Okay, so that means by using the four templates, I have created 400 pages. So now, if you are having any comment content, you will be you'll be having that comment content inside the structure node of the template, so that whenever we create the template, so automatically the content will be available to all the resultant pages. Okay, now I have one component. Okay, so inside that component, I have some content. I want to have this I have to have this content across same page across all the pages. I want to have the same content, so simply I can order that in the structure node of the template, right? So I can simply keep that component in the structure node of the template. So whatever the pages which are created using this template, so all the pages will be automatically reflected to the all the pages will be automatically reflected with the same content. So that means in the structure node, if I place a component, or if I place anything here, so automatically the resultant pages will have the similar content. Suppose if you want to have the individual content on the page, you can send that to the initial content node. The component will be there, so but there we will order the component there. Okay, so now this is the content. So consider what is the common content across pages. Header and footer is the common content across the page. So instead of going to the every page and writing the common content, or like adding the header and footer to every page, so simply we can specify to the template, right? So I'll specify header and footer. Okay, so here also I'll specify the header and footer. So inside the template in the structure node, I'll specify the header and footer. So when you specify the template in the header and footer, so instead of creating inside the 400 pages, so we can edit that four times. Okay, so simply we can edit in the four locations, like in the four templates we can have for the header four times, for the footer four times. So totally eight times if we edit means, so now the changes will be automatically available to 800 pages, or the changes will be automatically available to 400 pages. Because if we make any changes in the structure node of the template, so automatically already the resultant page data will be updated. Already created page data is also there, means it will update it with the data. Okay, so here now what happens is, so instead of ordering some 8 times or 10 times, okay, so what happens here is it also takes a lot of time. So instead of Sometime it takes a lot of time because I need to order the same content or I need to give the same changes in the 8 locations. So at that time it takes a lot of time. So instead of that, so simply we can go for an experience fragment. Okay. So we can go for an experience fragment, because if you go for a fragment, so fragment can be created in one time and then it can be reused in multiple pages, and then also it is editable from a single location, right? So in this case, we can go for an experience fragment. So experience fragment is a page which we are going to create. So now header and footer is a common content. So now I'll create an header experience fragment and then I'll create one footer experience fragment. And once I've created this header experience fragment, so I'll go to the template and then instead of adding the component here, I'll add the experience fragment. Okay. So whatever the header experience fragment I have created, I'll add that header experience fragment in the component. So once you once no, sorry, header experience fragment in the template. So once you have called this experience fragment in the template, okay, so at that time, instead of so now in the all the templates I have created, I have called the same experience fragment. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 4 positions or in the 4 places, I have called the same experience fragment in four of the pairs. So at that time, what happens as you are calling the 4 experience fragments in the same pairs? So instead of editing in the 4 locations, so simply you can edit that inside the fragment. Okay, so simply you can edit in one location. So once you edit in this particular location, so now these changes will be available to the template, and once the changes are available in the template, those changes will be available to the resultant pairs. So in order to going for the experience fragment, so experience fragment makes the work less. Okay, so instead of editing it 8 times, so we can still edit in one time in a single location, so that all the resultant templates and all the resultant pages which are created or using those templates, so for all the changes will be applied in a single location. Okay, so with the help of the experience fragment, so we can do that. So in most of the cases we'll be using the experience fragment for the header and footer content only. Okay, because it is the most of the common content. Every page will have the common content header and footer. So in most of the cases you'll be using the header and footer, you'll be using the experience fragment for the header and the footer. Okay, so that is one of the main point about the experience fragment. So now in order to create an experience fragment, so at that time we have to create how to create the experience fragment. So this experience fragment is an situ colon page. Okay, so in order to create a page, what we require, so in order to create the page, we need to require an template. Okay, so So in order to create an page, okay, so because we are creating an experience fragment in the form of a CQ column page only. So now in order to create a page, we need to have we need to create one, we need to have a template. Okay, so that template is nothing but the editable template we need to have. So this is the experience fragment. So the first step of creating the experience fragment is we have to create a folder. Okay, so now we have created an experience fragment folder, and once you have created the experience fragment folder, so there you have to select the template type. Okay, because in order to create an experience fragment, we have to have the template. So inside the template, you will be creating an experience fragment variation, and inside the variation, you will be adding a multiple number of components, because it can experience fragment can contain more than one component, and then we can have different variations which may vary the content or the components. Okay, so in order to create an experience fragment, the first step is we need to have an editable template. So with the help of the editable template only, we can create an experience fragment. So now in order to create an experience fragment, so where we can create, okay, so let me load my instance. So whatever the common content I'm having across multiple pages, so at that time we need to have that common content inside the experience fragment so that they will be editable from a single location. So we are creating an experience fragment. It is a part of a page, and you'll be the primary type JCR primary type is also as an CQ colon page. Okay, so it will take some time. So any doubts still here? Anyone? So it is a part of a page and you'll be creating as a page only. Okay. So whatever the common content we are having, so we'll be keeping inside that. So let it load. Perfect. Yeah. So now it has loaded. Now it has loaded. So login. So now in order to create the experience fragment, so we need to go to the AEM start.html, and then here we have the options of navigations. Inside the navigation, here we have the direct option of the experience fragment. So go inside this experience fragment. Suppose if I try to open the page, so now we have created some of the pages, right, by using a predefined EN pages there. So consider it as created using content page template. So now if I go into this EN page, so now if I try to point towards the header and footer in the EN page. Okay, so this is the header, and if I try to point towards the header here, so this header is a not a editable content. Okay, so this header is not editable content, and then title also is not. So here header is not an editable content. And if I go to the footer also, the footer is also not an editable content here. So now here what happened? Now here what is happening? So at that time, if in order to change the content, we need to go to the template, right? So just click on edit template option. So now it will be going into the template. So once if I go into this template, so here I only have the option to author it. If you observe here, so this header is an experience fragment. Suppose if I try to point towards footer, so this footer is also an experience fragment. Okay, so that means these experience fragments have been already created. So where they will store? So inside the navigation, so go to experience fragment, and news portal fragments is the one US, EN, and then site, and then header and the footer. Okay, so this is the header, right? So now if I go inside this header, and now I'll change the content. So have also created multiple pages using, I've also created multiple pages using the content page template, right? So I think article one is a content page template. Okay, so article template and article template. So I'll create one more page using a content page template. So just click on create a page, and then select the template. Content page is the template. Click on next, edit XYZ is the template. Click on create. Okay, open. So now as I created with the same thing, so now I'm having the same header and the footer, because so this is a content that is ordered in the template, and it is an experience fragment. So now I'll go inside this header experience fragment, and I'll try. So it is one navigation component, and it is also one navigation component, language navigation, and then here we have two navigation components. Now I'll try to include one button component. So there is one predefined button component, so you can call this button component, and then we order this button component here. So login is one button I'm specifying here, and then link is login I'll specify. So link some random page I'll specify content campaigns. Okay, so now there is no need of accessibility, so just click on OK. So now one button has been created, right? So now I have created that inside the experience fragment. So once I have created that inside the experience fragment, so now try to refresh this page. Okay, so the change is not available. So first try to check the content page template here. Okay, so if you observe here, a button has been added. So once in the template, we have got the change. So now I'll go to the EN page and try to refresh the EN page. Okay, so inside the EN page, I have got the button component. And if I try to load this one also, I have got the button component as well. So from a single location, I have changed it. So it has changed. It has got the changes have been reflected in the template, and the changes also have been reflected in the pages which are created using the template. So if you go for the experience fragments, so that is the main advantage. We can create them and then edit them from a single location. So now these are the predefined ones. So in order to create a custom experience fragment, so how we can create? So go to navigation, and then there you'll have the experience fragment. So once you are in the experience fragment, click on create an folder for it. Okay, so first create a folder to hold it. Okay, so custom news portal experience fragment. So custom news portal experience fragment is one folder I'm creating, and just click on OK. So once you click on OK, so go inside this experience fragment, and then click on create and create an experience fragment. So once you click on create an experience fragment, so now it is specifying all the templates. If you observe the option here, so it asking to select the template. Okay, so whenever we are creating an experience fragment, the first thing is, first we have to select the template types. Okay, so these are all the predefined experience fragment templates are there. So that Facebook variation, Pinterest variation, and then retail variation. Okay, so these are all the predefined templates that are available here. So now in order to create the in order to go for the template, so we can directly these are the predefined templates are available here. Suppose in case if you want to give your custom templates, or if you want to select your custom templates, so at that time we need to permit them. Okay, so in order to permit them, so select the folder and then go inside the properties. Okay, so once you are inside the properties, so here we have the options of allowed templates. So just click on add and then try to go to your template. So where it is available in the CRXD, so templates will be stored in the conf folder. So navigate to conf folder. So conf news portal, and then there we have the settings, WCM, and then here we have the templates. And then I want to have this article template which I have created. So now copy this article template and then paste it here inside the allowed templates. And then click on save and close. So once you click on save and close, now go inside this news portal and click on create an experience fragment. So now article template is one template we are having here. Okay, so in case if you don't want to use the article template, if you want to use the predefined templates, at that time you can use the predefined templates. Right now I just want to use the predefined templates. Okay, so now just go inside this template and then go inside the folder properties, delete this one because I want to use an predefined template. Okay, so now just go there and click on create and then create an experience fragment. So inside this experience fragment, so select any variation. So I'll select a Facebook variation. Okay, so go inside this Facebook variation and then click on next, and then experience fragment news portal is one title we are giving, and then click on create. Okay, so now we have selected the template. So once you have selected the template, okay, so here we need to add some content inside it. Okay, so whatever the content you want to add, so we can add that content inside the template. So take some time to edit. Now we are having some of the components we are having here, like image component we are having. So this is the layout container, and we are having an image component, and then we are having the text, and then if you want to include a content fragment also, we can include the content fragment. So this is one template we have created, and inside the template, so these are the components we have allowed. Okay, suppose if you want to edit this template also, so here we have the options of page information, and then once you click on edit template, so that will go into the structure mode of the template. Right now all of these things are in the initial content, so that's why they are orderable on the page. So these are the only components that are available here. So try to go to the initial content node. So inside the initial content node, they have specified all these components. Okay, so now so now this is, if you want to if you want to edit the template, you can edit the template as well. Okay, so I just want to use the predefined one only. So here, in order to order the image, so order any image you are having, so drag and drop an asset here. So yes, you can browse the assets that are available in the assets column, and then try to drag and drop an image. Okay, so now if you want to specify a text, you can also specify the text. This text, and then insert the experience fragment and then text. So try to have the text. So after having the text, if you want to, so whatever the content, so if you want to add the content fragment also, so we can add the content fragment. So now it is to have direct option, right? So select your content fragment. So content fragment is an asset, right? So that will store inside the temp folder, and then news portal content fragment is the one we have created, and then select the master variation. So if you want to add multiple elements, so this is the dialog of the content fragment which we have discussed in the last session. Okay, so you can just okay. So if you want to have all the elements here, okay, suppose if you want to have your custom components, okay, so now we are having an image, and then we are having a text component, and then we are having an content fragment component we are having. Suppose if you want to add one more component also, so whatever the component we can have, so with the help of this parses component, we can add those components. So right now only these three components have been allowed. Suppose if you want to add your own component, so at that time go to edit template option, because it is a template. Okay, so go to edit template option, and then give the permission to the component. So once you give the permission to the component, so at that time those components will be available to the page. Okay, so once you are having these properties, so once you are getting these properties, so now we have created an experience fragment. So just click on go to experience fragment folder, and this is one variation I have created. So this is one experience fragment variation I've created. So that is Facebook variation I've created. Suppose if you want to create a new variation of the experience fragment, okay. So now we are using one variation, right? Suppose if you want to create a new variation, so just click on create, and then create a variation. So if you want to create a variation, the first thing is you have to select the template, okay. Suppose if you want to use the same variation, so click on variation as a live copy. So it is using the source as experience fragment, and here you have to give the variation. So master is the variation name I am giving, and then click on okay, and then title is also master. Okay, so now with the same template we are using, it is creating the experience, one more experience fragment. Suppose if you want to add a different content here also, we can add the different content here. Suppose if you want to create one more variation with a different functionality, so at that time you can okay. So right now it is in the inheritance, cancel the inheritance. Okay, because we are creating a live copy, right? So which is not acceptable. Okay, so now it will be orderable. Okay, so now this is one more content I am specifying. So here also cancel the inheritance. So we can specify one more different content. If you want to specify, we can specify, because we have created a live copyright. So while discussing about the multi-site management, at the time I'll discuss about what is a live copy. Okay, so live copy is nothing but it will create an exact replica of the available thing. Okay, so once you have it here, so now we have created something. Suppose if you don't want to have, if you don't want to have the content fragment in this variation, so you can delete the content fragment here. Okay, so now once you have done here, so you can just go there and you can check whether what are the variations you have created. So just refresh the page, and then master variation has been created. By using the Facebook template only, you have created the one more variation you have created. Okay, so this is how we can create an experience fragment. Okay, so now we have created the experience fragment. So if you want to add this experience fragment to your page, okay, so how we can add the experience fragment to the page? Okay, so in order to add the experience fragment to the page, the same thing as a content fragment, you want to have a component, because anything on the AEM page is a component. So whether it is a page also, we'll have the page component. If we are having anything also, it is a component. So now whatever the experience fragment you have created, so in order to have this experience fragment, so you need to add that with the help of the experience fragment component only. So there is one three different experience fragment component is there. So there is no need to create the custom one. So you can simply drag and drop the custom, you can simply drag and drop the experience fragment component. So the xf is the small name of the, or xf is the tag name of the experience fragment. We can call it as an xf. Okay, so now we have have inserted the, or I have invoked the experience fragment component. So now in order to order the content inside it, so open the dialog of it. So first thing is we have to select the variation. So select the variation of experience fragment path variation you have to select, and then use portal fragments us en. So this is one we have created, and then select this one, and then click on select. So it is not showing the name. So just try to check the name here. So copy the path, content experience fragment custom news portal experience fragment, and then experience fragment news portal. So copy this path, and then go inside the en page, and then try to paste the path. select this one. Okay, game fragment, and then why it is not available here. Coding, select this one slash master. Yeah, so now it is displaying. Okay, so just click on OK. So now it is rendering the master variation we have selected. Suppose if you want to add any styles or if you want to write anything, so at that time you can write with the help of the template option. In the template we can include the client libraries, right? So in the template option we can include the client libraries and then we can write the styles. Okay, so after master, what is one more variation we have created? So select this one. So name is master. Okay, so select this one. Check the name. So master 0 is the name. Okay, so try to call with the help of master 0. Okay, so now click on OK. So now it is rendering a different experience fragment. Okay, so now in order to get the experience fragment, so as we are inheriting, it is showing an issue. So just delete it. Okay, so placeholder for inherited component. So now it is rendering. Okay, so that is how you can include the experience fragment on a page. So with the help of the experience fragment component, so we can include the experience fragment to the page. So if you want to render a different content, or if you want to develop an other experience fragment, so simply we can go here and then inside that we can create one more variation. So just click on create and then create a variation, and then you can select a different template. Suppose I want to create with this template. So just click on create and then click on create. So now I have created with a different template. So this different template will have a different structure. Okay, so same components are available. Suppose if you want to give a different structure at the time also, so we can give the different structure to that template. Okay, so that is how you can create an experience fragment and then you can add that to the page. So whatever the common content you are having across multiple templates, so in those cases you'll be using the experience fragment. So in order to create the experience fragment, so first we need to create an folder for it. After that we have to select the template type, and then after that we have to give the variation name. So once you give the variation name, so once you click on it, so inside the layout container you'll have multiple components. So if you want to add one more component also, we can add that with the help of persist component. So if you, as it is a template, if you want to allow the components, you can go to the edit template option and then you can allow what are the components you want to render inside this template. So whenever you are creating an experience fragment, so that experience fragment is created as an CQ colon page only. Okay, that's the thing. So if you want to check where the experience fragments will be stored, so this is the actual path, that is content experience fragment, and then custom news portal experience fragment is the folder. So now try to navigate to it. So inside the content folder, they will be available. So follow that path. So try to refresh the content folder. And once you refresh the content folder, so content and then experience fragment is the thing we have created. So inside this experience fragment, we have the custom news portal experience fragment, and then inside the master 0 is the variation I've created, and then master, these are the two variations I have created. Suppose if you check the primary type, so CQ colon page is the primary type. Okay, so CQ colon page is the primary type. So when you are creating an experience fragment, it is created as an CQ colon page. Okay, so if you are creating a content fragment, it is stored as an tam colon asset. Okay, so these are the two types of fragments that are available in AEM, so which we'll be using on the different perspectives. Okay, so any doubts in fragments?